Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to today's webinar. Our discussion will be on navigating supply chain challenges in the cashew industry. Joining us are some of our distinguished speakers. I would like to begin this discussion by introducing our first speaker, Inekojo Edime. A brief bio on Mr. Edime is the founder and executive chairman of Quebec Limited, an agro-trading and consulting firm involved in training, farming, supply, and exploitation of cashew. With over 18 years experience in various enterprise and development issues, he has worked for different organizations in various capacities, including Universal Trust Bank, now Union Bank, G Techno Engineering, Anna College of Technology, Zaki Biam, and Community Social Humanitarian Project, now the New Approach. He's also the current president of the Association of Cashew Farmers, Aggregators and Processors of Nigeria, ACFAP, and the chairman technical committee of the National Cashew Association of Nigeria, NCAN. He holds a Master's of Science in Mechanical Engineering and is a professional member of the British Institute of Engineering Technology and a member of the British Institute of Cost Engineers. Welcome, Mr. Edime. It is a pleasure to have you with us today. So to kick off the questions, I would like to ask, as the president of the ACFAP and chairman of NCAN's technical committee, could you kindly share some insights into the current challenges you face as an exporter in the cashew industry supply chain, particularly in Nigeria?
Thank you, everybody, for having me. In the cashew industry, it's a wide industry, a specialized one at that. And I would like to say, before we go into supply chain challenges particularly, I would like to say that a lot of people are interested in the cashew industry because they've heard a lot of story about how profitable cashew business is, where it can be very tricky. It's very easy to lose money. As easy as it is to make money, that is how easy it is to lose money in the industry. And going to the challenges that we have in the export of cashew, particularly the supply chain side. Well, this year particularly, one of the major issues that happened in the cashew industry practically emanated from the removal of oil subsidy. Escalation of transportation cost was a major issue this year in the cashew industry. And I may have to go into terms, particularly the amount that, the difference in the amount that happens in the industry. I remember when in year 2020, we were moving a truck of cashew from a place like Ayamba in Kogi State to Lagos for 450,000 naira per truck. That's a truck is a 30 metric tons cashew. But this year, a truck was 1.6 million. Last year, it was 600,000, 550, 600,000. This year, it is skyrocketed to 1.6 million naira. And on the minus the 1.6 million naira that you pay to truckers for moving your goods to Apapa or to Tinkan, you will still need to escort your truck to Lagos, because as we all know, apart from this cost, you know, in Nigeria, because we are discussing Nigeria, there are other hidden costs that nobody can legally put a hold on. For example, when you are moving trucks, you see a lot of different uniformed men that you will need to sort. And I'm being very blunt here, that you need to sort to get to the ports. And my experience is that I spend no less than between 150,000 to 200,000 extra to the 1.6 million naira that we will need to truck 30 metric tons of cashew from a place like Kogi to the ports in Lagos. So escalation of transport is one of the primary challenges that we have. And then like I said, it wasn't like that before the coming of this current administration that removed fuel prices. And again, another challenge is that since this administration has come, you see fluctuations in fuel prices. So, which is making it a bit difficult for you to plan your logistic arrangement. And then the dollar naira fluctuations too. As it keeps fluctuating, the truckers keep changing price for you. And sometimes it happens so quickly that you as an exporter or as a business person may find it extremely difficult to adjust. If you have loads that are going with little margin, those fluctuations may end up wiping off your margin. So those are some difficulties in the chain. Then minus these ones, we have noticed over the years that containers, when you get to the port, sometimes containers aren't readily available at the ports. It can be crazy sometimes that you have made all your good, fantastic logistics arrangement, and you get to the ports, containers are not readily available, and when it is available, you now have to be struggling with all the agencies that are in charge of certification, like phytosanitary, those quality, who are filled with a lot of come with a lot of bottlenecks. Like we say in Nigeria, when you do business in Nigeria, you make serious provision for those you are supposed to sort. And sometimes you will still make that arrangement, and then somebody who is supposed to take care of one or two things is changed. And then a new person comes into that place, and you need to start making a new arrangement for arrangements that you have already made. And then this reliance on road transportation is another issue. I have had experience this year where a truck that leaves Cashew that went to Lagos that is supposed to take maybe 2-3 days took more than a week because the truck broke down because of bad road. And then especially when it rains, you are carrying a 30 metric tons to Lagos, and you get to places where the roads are bad. The roads are bad. The truck gets stuck, and then when it gets stuck that way, because it's carrying heavy load, it may not be able to move, and then you may have to bring another truck to transload from that point to wherever you are going. So bad road, the Nigerian signature bad roads is another major issue that is affecting our logistics arrangement. And when you put all these things together, like anybody, when a truck of cashew is going, especially cashew and cocoa, a lot of people believe that once you are moving cashew and cocoa, you are a rich man, there is too much money in it, and then they bring all manner of bottlenecks along your way. Then when you put all these ones that you can't dodge, you put all the cost implications together, you will discover that it is affecting your operational expenses. So those are the major challenges we are having in our logistic arrangement in this country. And then some of the logistic companies that we equally use, a lot of them are not efficient. They will give you time that they are supposed to deliver your goods. Your goods may not be delivered on time. And then when you go back to them, they have a way of always giving an excuse. And then when you look at those excuses too, it still boils down to the bad infrastructures that we have around. And then when your goods come to Lagos too, we have to battle with the congestion at the ports in Nigeria. Because sometimes it takes less time to travel from Kogi, Enugu, or Nasarawa with cashew to Lagos. It takes less time than to move from Bega in Lagos to the ports because of congestion. So basically, those are some of the major challenges that exporters face in exporting cashew from Nigeria, as it has to do with the supply chain side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I definitely do agree that we need to do better with our regarding infrastructure and regarding setting standards within Nigeria. Moving along, with your extensive experience in agro trading and consulting, what strategies do you recommend for effectively managing the logistics and transportation aspects of the cashew supply chain?
Well, strategies. You see, a lot of people have put up different strategies, and government have been harvesting those strategies for a very long time. But as a business person, I will advise that even with all the challenges we mentioned, it's not. I wouldn't advise anybody that is going into business to just go buying trucks, because the cost of the truck will be very, very expensive. Starting cost will be expensive. So I would advise that everybody who intends going into export business, you have especially in the cashew industry, raw cashew in this case, should have some serious discussions with their logistic provider. Have a logistic provider that you believe is efficient, or have a track record of efficiency. And for the government side, which we have advocated severally, and I believe, I know that Nigeria Export Promotion Council is doing something in that regard, because I think it was about 2 years ago that we were invited for the launching of DUE. DUE is domestic export window, export warehouses, where you apply to, when you have a warehouse that can accommodate accommodate custom, that can accommodate Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service, that can accommodate the inspection department, or the people who does inspection, because now it's been outsourced to some consultants who do the inspection on behalf of government. You have them, you apply to Nigeria Export Promotion Council. Nigeria Export Promotion Council certify that, okay, your facilities can take these things, and then they approve you as an export warehouse, where everything that needed to be done at the port is done at your warehouse. Once it is sealed from your warehouse, nobody opens it again until it goes. So as soon as it is taken from your warehouse, it is viewed that you have exported. That shortens the time, and then by the time you are doing that, all the things you need to do at the port too with the shipping line is also being done. So when you eventually bring the container to the port, there will be no need for quality certification anymore, because it's been done at your warehouse, and there will be no need for phytosanitary testing, because it's been done at your warehouse. There may be no need for so many other things. And then even before he leaves, what you are supposed to pay, I think before the thing leaves if I am placed to advise them, I will advise government that they should put more bites to the domestic export window program, and then also work on the development of the inland dry ports that are being championed by various people. And I think most serious connecting agro areas in Nigeria, Kano, Kaduna, Jos, I think Ibadan, and all those places have licenses for domestic dry ports. So government should expedite action on ensuring that those ones are built, so that those other challenges can be curbed.
I definitely buy into the idea. I agree with you. It would be great to also selling things that would also um, reduce the time it would take to process to export these products. As an alternate Nigerian representative on the CICC, what collaborative efforts are being made at the international level to address supply chain challenges in the global cashew trade?
Yes, the CICC itself was formed partly because of these challenges and others. The CICC was formed by various countries to ensure that the challenges, particularly in Africa and West Africa, that we face in export of cashew is addressed. So on the logistics side, the promotion of CICC is not basically on the transportation. The CICC is working to ensure that cashew produced in Africa or produced at source is majorly processed at source to reduce the amount of cargo that is being moved around in the cashew industry. For example, most cashew from Nigeria or from Africa, I'm using Nigeria because we are discussing Nigeria, most cashew from Nigeria moves from Nigeria, go to Vietnam or India, get processed before it is shipped to Europe and America for consumption. And then the manufacturing process of cashew has shown that over just 22% of cashew, of the percentage of cashew, raw cashew nut turns into kernel. And then you are moving 100%, but what goes to Europe is like 22% of the 100% that you have taken. All right. So the CICC is working that cashew should be mostly processed at source. And then I think that will reduce the cost of the transportation, and then it will equally reduce the cashew that goes to waste as a result of this movement.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the government, what government policy or policies do you think can be put in place to make the cashew industry more profitable and lucrative for investors?
Yeah, I remember this January we had a policy roundtable in Enugu. We did, incidentally, I was the chairman of the committee as well that looked into policy development for government. And then we noticed that cashew processing, cashew production in Nigeria is not well looked into. And one of the reasons is that the cashew research is not well articulated in Nigeria. For example, the Nigerian cashew is a sub of the Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria. The cashew research department is just a unit under Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria. And we have advocated, and we have, as part of the strategy for government policies, that a cashew research institute should be open. The cashew unit that does that is in Ochaja, Kogi State, and we have asked government to please turn that into a cashew research institute so that we can have the various research on production, processing, sales, and all these things, just like it happens in the cocoa industry for cashew, so that you can have a more focused research that can be commercialized in the cashew industry. That is one. Another one is that there are news around that Nigeria cashew, particularly Kogi, Enugu, and other places, have issues with peelability. Peelability is when you process cashew, the ability of the outer shell and the tester to get out from the kernel, that we have issues with peelability, meaning that it doesn't peel easily like that of other countries. So on the federal government side, we know that we can't handle this only on our own. So we are telling government as a policy, all right, to give charge to be opened Cashew Research Institute to work on all these things. Then we've equally told government to introduce a cashew fund as a policy as well, so that everybody in the cashew chain, be you farmer, exporter, processor, and whatever, can go to the cashew fund based on what you do to get fund and then introduce it in cashew business. Because a lot of, when you go to the bank will lend you money at almost 25 to 30 something percent per annum. All right. And then when you are expected to start paying back, and sometimes they say 6 months you start paying back. Now, if you are a cashew farmer and you get a loan to start your farm, in 3 years you have not come to economic yield. If you collect money from the bank to set up a cashew processing factory, chances are that in the second year you have not come to full production, because you still, of course, you need to test your infrastructure until you need to get your customers, and then till they know you that, okay, you produce good cashew before you become profitable in the market. Then before you get profitable, you are already expected to start paying back your loan. So the fund will understand this better, and then we have advised government that the cashew fund should be managed by multi-stakeholders. Now, when you have a cashew fund that have board membership from government, from farmers, from processors, from traders, from exporters, then you know that everybody understands this chain very well. And then when you are developing fund for different part of the industry, the fund is speaking directly to the industry, not when you use a template for rubber or plastic manufacturers for cashew processing. Because for plastic manufacturer, you are just going to get the latex from somewhere or get a petroleum product from somewhere. Boom, you started, and then it is. But for this industry, is different. So, as a strategy, we have advised government into policy to set up a cashew fund that people in the cashew industry can go into it.
Thank you very much. I really do agree with you that the cashew industry needs more attention, and the government needs to create policies that empower cashew farmers and also, make people interested, investors interested in the Nigerian cashew industry. So, final question, Mr. Edime. In what ways do you think the cashew industry has evolved since you joined the industry till date?
That is massive, especially in Nigeria. Yeah, when we started cashew as a commercial in Nigeria, because when I was young, we used to see cashew, but it was not really, nobody took it serious. But over the years, by education, sensitization, we have discovered that those practices no longer happen. So the rejection of Nigeria cashew in the international market has drastically reduced, or is almost eliminated now. And then even then, we don't test cashew, but now there's a lot of knowledge in the cashew industry that have gone on in Nigeria, that even there are farmers now that can test the quality of cashew. And then over the years, we have learned on how to farm cashew better. Because before then, we see cashew as wild growing trees, but now we've seen a lot of people go into cashew plantation. Myself, I have gone into massive cashew plantation, and other people, plenty of people that have gone into cashew plantation. So cashew is no longer viewed as in the production now, is no longer viewed as wild varieties. And then before now, Nigeria were not able to sell cashew as organic, even though we know that it is organic because there are no certification. In the last 3 years, we have been certifying Nigerian cashew as organic. Currently, I know about 2 companies who are doing certification in Nigeria for organic farmers and organic processing plants. Currently, is going in Kogi, one in Kogi, which I lead. There's another one in Enugu. There's another one in Kogi, Enugu, Oyo State. They are doing organic certification now, so that Nigerian cashew can sell as organic, because it's actually organic. And then on that too, drying of cashew. Before now, people just dry cashew for one day, sun dry cashew for one day, and they believe it's okay. So, but now, by everybody now know that you need to dry cashew to less than 10% moisture. So over the years, a lot of knowledge has increased. Now we now know that you don't save cashew or store cashew in polyethylene bags. So now almost every warehouse you go in this country now, you see people store cashew in jute bags as against polyethylene bags. And the reason is that polyethylene bags is rubber. When you store, there is no aeration, and the cashew will go rancid, the cashew will go bad. But if it is in well dried, less than 10%, as it is in jute bag, there's enough aeration, so the cashew won't go bad. Then even where we store it, a lot of knowledge has gone, and people now no longer store cashew in just cozy places. When you store cashew and you don't want to sell immediately, you store in where the windows are open, you have enough air going round. So when you store your cashew, the quality don't drop quickly because cashew is sold based on quality. So, but before, nobody does that. So a lot of knowledge has gone through in this industry. Even though we know we need more knowledge, we need more people in the industry. And then when the cashew industry started, I can tell you for free that most people in the cashew industry were illiterate. But now, thank God that a lot of people, I have seen men, women that are well educated, learned, doctors, professors in the cashew industry now. So the cashew industry is gradually moving from where it was to where it is that people now see cashew as a real business and not side hustle. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Itime. It was such a pleasure to have you for this insightful session. Please, if you have any questions, drop them in the Q&A box and we'll respond to them after our panelists have spoken. To build on this conversation, I would like to introduce our second speaker, Madam Chigozie Bashwa. She is the founder of The North Place. A brief bio on Chigozie Bashwa. She's a highly accomplished IT professional with over 15 years of experience in diverse emerging markets, specializing in information technology. Our journey has been marked by a strong focus on business analysis, service delivery management, and strategic planning. Beyond our IT expertise, our true passion lies in addressing global challenges, particularly in the realm of food security. She is deeply committed to the United Nations #39 Sustainable Development Goal 2 and advocate fervently for eradication of world hunger by 2030. In the pursuit of this mission, she founded The North Place, a sustainable food processing company dedicated to enhancing nutrition and promote healthy living across Africa. Our focus is on providing gluten-free food products processed from edible nuts, contributing to a healthier lifestyle for our consumers. Our commitment to sustainable development and entrepreneurship is evident through our affiliations with esteemed organizations such as Tony Elumelu Foundation, the African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative, AWEC, and others. She is actively involved as a mentor, contributing to initiatives such as the Tony Elumelu Foundation and the Lagos State Educational Trust Fund, LSETF. Welcome on board, Madam Chigozie.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Such a pleasure to have you here. If you could give us a brief story on how you founded the North Place and what inspired you.
Okay, so the North Place was birthed as a result of so at the point when I conceived the idea, it was a soul-searching period time in my life, and the loss of a loved one. I went into a deep research on what nutrition could do, or probably would have done, if we knew better. And so in the process, had gone on a trip, and then I found healthy flours made, but the raw materials were from Africa. So I thought to myself that, we were underutilizing the nuts we had in Nigeria, and of course, by extension, Africa. And so I thought to myself that this was something we could build on to provide people the opportunity to give more people access and give them the opportunity to have healthy food without breaking the bank. And so that led to a series of research and development. When I visited the nut processing company to have firsthand experience on what it was, what it looked like, and the rest they say is history. That was how the nut place was birthed.
That's very good to hear. Apart from the fact that the idea came from, the loss of someone, what products does the nut place sell, and how do these products contribute to enhancing nutrition in Africa?
Okay, so all our products are basically from edible nuts, and make healthy flours like tiger nut flour, bambara flour, coconut flour. We make snacky products like coconut flakes. We produce lactose-free milk like the tiger nut milk, the coconut milk. And of course, we have roasted cashew nuts and then the tiger nut itself, which we sell in ready-to-eat bags.
Oh, okay.
And then, how it contributes to nutrition. So, nuts are I say they are effortlessly nutritious. They are gluten-free. So, in converting them into other products and products that people can substitute, especially when you're moving away from high carbohydrates and all that, we're essentially providing nutrient-dense food products that people can have access to and use them for baking, for cooking, and any other thing they want to do. For some people, they want to use it as a nutrition boost by adding like a tiger nut flour to their oats, to their pap, and all that. So yeah, we used, and tiger nuts are used to fight malnutrition. Some of these nuts are used for other things. They're high in fiber and all that. They help regulate the blood sugar. So we generally convert them to other products that are nutrient dense, and then people can use them and get the nutrition from them.
Okay. I for one, really, I know the high nutritional value of tiger nut, and I agree with you on that. How does the nut place ensure quality control? How do you ensure quality control with the
So
nut
our
place?
quality control starts from our sourcing, from the sourcing of the raw materials. And so
Where do you source your raw material? Can you give us like a location?
Okay, so while I cannot give out a particular location, and that is because we have various suppliers,
Yes.
we ensure we get to as close as possible to the farmers. So for some of our products, we have farmers that supply us directly. For some, we have maybe one or two steps before the farmers that supply us. So maybe there are vendors that are one step close to the farmers, and they supply us. So our sourcing, like I said, our quality control starts from our sourcing, and we ensure that we get top quality nuts. So we don't buy nuts just because of pricing. We buy because of quality. And from then, we also have standardized processes that our employees utilize when they are producing. And these are some standardized SOPs, so they follow them so that our output is consistent. And of course, we have a quality assurance person that ensures that what is produced is goes through the appropriate channels in order to be consistent and, of course, top quality. We also have batch records that we keep and all those things, so that that way you know what went out and what in case there's a problem, you know where to trace.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's quite a detailed quality control process. From from the beginning till the end, there is quality control at every stage. Moving on to the aspect of you being a grant recipient, what advice would you offer to aspiring entrepreneurs that are seeking grant funding, and how would you suggest they approach the process?
The first thing is to define your goal or what you want the grant for. So oftentimes, your grants, as much as it's free money, but it's not entirely free. And when I mean not entirely free is because you are, it's not for you to just use. You're supposed to produce, have an output. You're supposed to get something tangible from it. So one thing is to define your purpose and your goal, what you want the grant for, and then look for grants that align with your values, that align with your vision. And after that, when in applying for grants, you need to keep an open mind, because and be persistent, because you might not just get the grant because you applied for one. So oftentimes people think that, oh, when I apply for a grant and I must get it immediately. And so if I don't get that one grant, then I'm discouraged. No, if your pathway to raising funds is through grants, then you have to be consistent, you have to be persistent, and you have to build the tenacity that, irrespective of whatever the outcome is, I keep moving. And also show traction. So you have to be able to say that, oh, previously I won $1,000 grant, and this is what I produced from it. And so if you commit like a 10,000 to me, I'll be able to produce more than this. So you need to be able to show traction. And then, and if you haven't won any grants also, you also have to be able to show traction of what you have achieved on your own. Then you have to be big on impact. Grants are not just for you to just build your businesses, but also to affect your community and to make an impact in people's lives. So you also have to be able to show impact when you are applying for grants.
Thank you. I agree with the impact point. What are the key takeaways you would like our audience to remember about your journey and experience in the cashew industry?
The cashew industry, you need to build resilience. I mean, I was listening to the first speaker, and I can totally relate on the challenges and all, and the disruptions that could happen, on the journey. So you need to be able to build resilience. You need to be able to ensure that there's resilience in your supply chain. So I would say that when dealing in cashew nuts, you need to have like 4 eyes. You need to be wise about your dealings, and you need to also know that you're not doing. Once upon a time, cashews were very cheap, but they are no longer cheap.
Yeah.
And then in processing, I would also say strive to give the best. One of the things we look out for, or we do, is that we source the best and we process the best for our customers, such that when they take it, they always have to come back. So strive to give your customers the best. It doesn't matter the journey, or rather the challenges you go through to get the cashew nut, but just don't circumvent the journey. Just try to give customers the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I agree with you, Chigozie, are you done?
Yes, I am.
Or you may be frozen up. Yes, your customers are the ones that will hold your company at the end of the day. So it's important to make sure that you're happy with your products or with your service. That's the end goal. Thank you so much, Chigozie. It's been such an insightful conversation with you and Mr. Idime. Thank you, everyone.